Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You check the news, open your phone, and see something impossible. Every ocean on Earth is gone. The Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, all vanished overnight. Where there were once endless waves, there is now a massive empty abyss stretching for thousands of kilometers. Ships sit stranded on dry ground. Coastal cities stare out into an endless desert of cracked seabed. But this isn't just strange. It would be the beginning of one of the greatest disasters Earth has ever seen. If the oceans disappeared, humanity would suddenly see a world that has been hidden for billions of years. The ocean floor, massive underwater mountain ranges taller than the Himalayas would appear. Ancient shipwrecks lost for centuries would lie scattered across the seabed. Entire volcanic ridges stretching across the planet would finally be visible. And then there's the deepest place on Earth, the Mariana Trench. Normally it sits nearly 11 kilometers underwater. But now it would appear as a gigantic canyon so deep it would make the Grand Canyon look small. For the first time in human history, we would see Earth's largest unexplored landscape. But the beauty wouldn't last long. Oceans are not just water. They are the planet's temperature control system. Right now, oceans absorb huge amounts of heat from the sun and slowly release it back into the atmosphere. Without them, Earth's climate would spiral out of control. Days would become extremely hot. Nights would become freezing cold. Weather patterns would collapse. Hurricanes, monsoons, and rainfall depend heavily on ocean evaporation. Without oceans, clouds would slowly disappear. Within months, massive global droughts would begin. Forests would start dying. Rivers would shrink. And agriculture around the world would begin to fail. But the real danger might surprise you. Most people think forests produce most of Earth's oxygen. But that's not true. Tiny ocean organisms called phytoplankton produce over half of the oxygen we breathe. These microscopic life forms live near the ocean surface and use sunlight to create oxygen. If the oceans disappeared, they would die almost instantly. At first, humans wouldn't notice the change. But over time, oxygen levels in the atmosphere would slowly drop. Life on Earth would begin to struggle. The oceans are home to over 2 million species of life. Fish, whales, sharks, coral reefs. All of them depend entirely on water. If the oceans vanished suddenly, nearly all marine life would die within hours. Beaches would become filled with millions of stranded sea creatures. The smell of decay would spread across coastal regions. And ecosystems that took millions of years to evolve would collapse almost instantly. The loss of marine life would also destroy global food chains. Billions of people rely on seafood as a primary food source. Without it, food shortages would grow worldwide. But the exposed ocean floor would reveal something even more dangerous. Massive underwater volcanoes. There are thousands of them, most hidden beneath the ocean. Without the pressure of water above them, some of these volcanoes could become unstable. Eruptions might increase dramatically. Entire regions of the seafloor could crack open, releasing toxic gases trapped for millions of years. Methane deposits buried deep under the seabed could escape into the atmosphere. And methane is far more powerful than carbon dioxide when it comes to warming the planet. This could push Earth into an even more extreme climate crisis. From space, Earth is known as the blue planet, because oceans cover about 71% of its surface. But without them, Earth would look completely different. Huge dark scars of exposed seabed would dominate the planet. The beautiful blue color would vanish. Our world would begin to resemble a dry, lifeless planet like Mars. But the biggest question remains, if the oceans disappeared, where did all the water go? Did it sink deep into Earth's crust? Did it somehow escape into space? Or did it move somewhere we cannot see? Because if all that water ever returned, it wouldn't come back gently. The sudden return of Earth's oceans would create planet-wide megafloods, massive tsunamis, and unstoppable destruction. Cities, continents, and landscapes would be reshaped forever. The oceans may seem endless and permanent, but they are one of the most delicate systems keeping life on Earth alive. Without them, our planet would become a completely different world. A world far more dangerous, far more unstable, and far less alive. And that makes one thing clear. The oceans are not just part of Earth. They are what makes Earth livable.